when I was a kid. I used to travel with my mom and dad, visited their businesses in the rural. My pocket of money would run out much faster when I went to the rural area compared to if I've stayed in the capital city. And later on in life, I've realized that despite the cost of the goods in the rural, that is sometimes 20 up to 200% much higher compared to our capital city. But then the GDP per capita is actually much lower, 2x up to 3x.
My hometown is Yogyakarta, and there the prices of daily necessities are way higher than the ones in the metropolitan cities. It is actually very ironic because the GDP per capita in my hometown is 1/5 of the ones in the metropolitan city.
I am originally from Banyuwangi, but it's very end parts of Eastern East Java. As a young kid, I have never been in Jakarta before. So, I was kind of like moving around this in East Java. When I lived in Jakarta, that's where I realized that, that there is some disparity in prices for staple goods.
So the call is basically there are some mission to help our nations to solve the inequality economic distributions across tier 2, tier 3 cities and rural. And with this business model would works best in the lower tier cities, means that the cities that outside of the capital city, and the further the better. So that's why we started in East Java as the gateway before we're basically penetrating further to East Indonesia.
I went back to Indonesia to help my father's business at first, which is in agriculture industry. In 2019, I met Steven through my sister. And there he actually shared his vision of building Super. And not long after, I decided to join Super in 2020. And from there, the history began. East Indonesia, actually, we contribute to 40% of the total GDP in Indonesia. That is actually very massive. However, this market is underserved. And there is a huge price disparity here, and also there is a low selection of products here. That's why Super, we actually emerges to be the first mover to provide wider access of goods to people in this area. And also perseveres to actually to solve the supply chain issue there.
Why is Java? Because it's pretty much far from folks who live in Jakarta capital city and West Indonesia per se. Now we are the only one player here. So we thought that if we could take 3 to 4% of the market, we will be a very, very strong company.
Super has undergone turbulent times, as we know, from the pandemic to the recent tech winter. And during this period, Steven remained very headstrong. He helped us to continuously evolve, continuously create new strategies to ensure that we remain adaptable to the market. And one of those is, of course, our private label initiative.
How we're going to make this company sustainable, because in the end, the company needs to be sustainable to make sustainable impact in the future.
Thanks to Steven, because he actually saw that there is an opportunity at private label. He saw that in other countries, there are private label initiatives started. Said, I think we should be the first mover, and people in the rural areas, they get daily necessities with much higher prices. Meaning we need to create a product that is affordable, yet with the same quality as the top brand. And it's very, very doable.
We would have to shifting the competitive landscape to see more conventional players which is those retails and so on, and how to compete with them. Because those are the company that already been in Indonesia for 2 to 3 decades and being very, very profitable company.
It started with only a team of 2,
Yeah.
and then now we have become more than 50 people team. And then we experimented with more than 100 SKUs in a diverse category, starting from rice box to frozen food.
I grew up surrounded by the FMCG industry due to my family's involvement in the dairy products business. Ever since then, we always kept in touch. Actually, he was the one that approached me. He told me about the opportunity, and coincidentally, I was going to Surabaya for the weekend. And so that weekend, he was like, "Oh, you should come by to the office. Meet up with Mike and Debbie." And so I actually went to the office, saw the landscape here, in Surabaya, and then I thought it was something that is very new to me, because prior to that I was a consultant, and then I worked for a software or SaaS, even though I was always exposed to the FMCG industry. So seeing Super and the landscape here, I knew that that was actually what I wanted to do. Maybe it was only, a couple products that we were doing, but ever since then, we have expanded our portfolio. Private label, now we have about more than 15 products. And then for exclusivity, we already also have more than, 15 exclusive principals as well. So it has definitely grown a lot since its early stages. Since these products have high margins as well, it's worth it for us to spend on distribution outside of current network. That's why we actually see it private label as expanding first outside of it. We have seen it go to Central Java, for example, and we have also sold our products in some of the mini marts in Bali.
And Super won't stop here. We would like to work with the seller that basically could sell cosmetics product, home and living, and so on, that would enlarge the total addressable market.
Indonesia is an island country, many island country. That's why there are still a lot of opportunities there, and we are still at the very beginning.
Growing up, always looking at these kind of products. My dad would bring these products home and then ask us, okay, what do you think of these products, and ask us our feedback and all of that. I would bring home some of the products that we're launching and ask my family to basically try it. And it's very interesting to kind of compare, and also a nostalgic feeling of growing up with the same kind of environment, and then now launching our own products as well, seeing our products in the mini marts, where I usually see our products in the mini marts, for example. So it's a full circle moment, I would say, to look at these products launching.